Ah, World War III, the ultimate global face-off that's about as pleasant as a pie in the face, but with way more high-stakes drama and zero pie. We've been tantalized with apocalyptic visions for decades, but the idea of a third global conflict has a way of grabbing headlines, whether it's from the latest Netflix thriller or the doomsday predictions of the latest viral TikTok. So, let's dive into the world of geopolitical intrigue with a pinch of humor and a splash of optimism. Who knows? Maybe we'll discover that the real drama might not be quite as thrilling, or terrifying, as we imagined. The global soap opera, Who's Who in the Cast? Imagine if world politics were a soap opera. The major players would be the United States, China, Russia, the EU, and maybe even some surprise guest stars like Brazil or India. Every episode would be packed with plot twists, cliffhangers, and dramatic standoffs. The US, the ever-enthusiastic protagonist with a penchant for action sequences and a soft spot for international alliances. China, the enigmatic figure with a flair for grand economic schemes and a subtle, yet significant, role in the plot. Russia, the brooding anti-hero who often brews on the sidelines, but isn't above stirring up some drama. The EU, the wise mentor with an impressive knack for diplomatic negotiations and the occasional crisis. These characters might sound like they're just waiting for a big, dramatic showdown, but in reality, they're too busy with their own internal issues and daily grind to jump straight into an all-out war. Plot twists, the new rules of engagement. Let's be real, the world has changed since the last major global conflict. The stakes aren't just about territorial dominance anymore, they've evolved into complex networks of economics, technology, and cyber intrigue. It's less about traditional warfare and more about cyber skirmishes and trade wars. Cyber warfare, the modern-day equivalent of a high-stakes chess game, with hackers as the grandmasters. Instead of launching missiles, we're dealing with ransomware and social media manipulation. Economic sanctions, think of these as the ultimate party pooper. Countries can throw a wrench in each other's economic plans without ever needing to fire a shot. The surprise ending, why World War III might be a no-show. Despite the dramatic buildup, there are plenty of reasons to believe that World War III might just be a figment of our collective imagination. Mutually assured destruction, MAD, this concept isn't just a cool name for a punk band. The idea is that no one wants to risk a nuclear apocalypse, so everyone's playing it safe. The fear of total annihilation is a pretty strong deterrent. Global interdependence, countries are more economically interlinked than ever. If one falls, the whole economic ecosystem takes a hit. It's like a giant game of Jenga, no one wants to pull the wrong piece and bring the whole tower down. Diplomatic channels, diplomacy is less of a snooze fest than you might think. Nations are constantly negotiating, mediating, and finding ways to resolve conflicts without resorting to full-scale warfare. The plotline we really want, cooperation and collaboration. So, what's the happy ending we're hoping for? It's not a world engulfed in chaos but one where countries come together to tackle global challenges like climate change, pandemics, and space exploration. Picture a world where the biggest conflicts are over who gets the last piece of pizza at a global summit. In the grand scheme of things, the odds are stacked against World War III being anything more than an overblown headline. The real action is in the everyday efforts to build a better, more cooperative world. And if the occasional dramatic headline keeps us on our toes, well, at least we can enjoy the show from the safety of our popcorn-strewn couches. So, here's to hoping that the next big headline is about international collaboration rather than international conflict. And remember, the world might be a complicated place, but sometimes the best plotlines are the ones where everyone wins. Stay tuned, just hopefully not for a global conflict. If you enjoyed this whirlwind tour through the world of geopolitical drama and the ever-elusive prospect of World War III, you're in for a treat! We've got plenty more content that dives into the wild, wacky, and wonderfully unpredictable world of global affairs, all served with a side of humor and insight. Don't miss out on the latest updates and fresh perspectives, hit that subscribe button and join our community! By subscribing, you'll be the first to get our updates, quirky takes on global trends, and engaging discussions that make complex topics a bit more fun. So, whether you're a seasoned geopolitics buff or just curious about how the world's grand soap opera unfolds, we'd love to have you on board! Click subscribe and let's keep the conversation going! Stay curious, stay informed, and stay entertained!